Stay in the main camp where the Forest Service says, but the herder, he's going to pitch a pup tent on the QT with the sheep, and he's going to sleep there. You eat your supper and breakfast in camp, but you sleep with the sheep, 100%.
Brokeback Mountain, a romance and drama produced at the year of 2005. It is Ann Lee's film that adapted from the same-named novel written by Annie Proulx. And it was starred by famous Hollywood film stars Jack Gyllenhaal, Heath Ledger, Michael Williams, and Annie Hathaway.
There's a filly that could throw me. Let's get unless you want to sit around tying knots all day.
The movie tells us about the complex relation of love and sex between the two men from the year 1963 to 1981 in Wyoming. At the Venice Film Festival, Brokeback Mountain has been awarded the Golden Lion. Meanwhile, it has been nominated 8 Oscars and won the Academy Award for Best Director, Adapted Screenplay, and Oscar Award for Best Score. What's more, Brokeback Mountain has gained great success in business and ranked the 8th in the box office of romance and drama in history. When Brokeback Mountain released, it became a sweeping global cultural phenomenon which affected so many culture fields, including academy, fashion, and country music. In the meantime, a widely discussion over the same-sex love was gradually raised. Living in this complicated world to watch people come and go, we can tell that everyone takes a quick step passing us by. Among those people, some are busy for their own work, some are engaged in supporting a family, and some are occupied with finding a person to share their life with. However, there's a kind of person who only have love affair with the same sex as themselves are. And that's the ones called homosexual. With the development of human civilization, people generally realize that love is love itself, which has nothing with gender. In 1973, American Psychiatric Association removed the homosexual behavior from the disease system. On May 17, 1990, the World Health Organization wiped off the homosexual who have no ego-dystonic sexual disorder from psychosis roster. And on April 20, 2001, the published Chinese Classification and Diagnosis of Mental Diseases, the 3rd edition, indicated that homosexual do not have to be psychology or abnormality. From then on, homosexuality has never ever been regarded as morbidness. So, what's the public's opinion to the homosexual? And is there any policies towards homosexual have been passed by some of the countries around the world? As to the recognition of same-sex relationships, opinions based on different countries, Canada, Mexico, Germany, and the United Kingdom stand by it, while Italy, Singapore, South Korea, and Japan deny same-sex relationships. Thailand also proposed a negative opinion this year. And in America, different states own different attitudes toward this question. Among the countries who favored this relationship, only Canada agreed the marriage of homosexual. The attitude toward the same-sex marriage are also different from one state to another in America. While in North Ireland, it is totally forbidden. When it comes to the adoption by the homosexual, Canada and the Philippines entirely agree. Nevertheless, Japan, South Korea, Thailand, Singapore, and Italy are completely against the same-sex adoption. But they permit the homosexuals to join the army. Canada, America, Philippines, Thailand, Australia, and the United Kingdom are the countries who support this activity as well. There's no explicit ban in Mexico, but LGBT persons have been reportedly discharged on the grounds of immorality. But here in China, no anti-discrimination homosexual law has been passed, no specific cognition about the existence of them, and also no clear statement on homos' marriage or adoption. Then, what's the public's opinion toward homosexual, and how homos' reaction to the country's attitude to them?
我不接受。
我是赞成同性恋的，因为每个人有每个人的生活，我们不可以干涉别人的生活，只要他们的生活比较开心，我觉得就可以。
在我个人看来，觉得比较恶心，不能够接受。
我觉得虽然说这个群体是比较特殊的，但是每个人都有自己的选择，我们应该尊重他们这个选择。
现在年纪轻的谈对象，他自甘愿意过了什么人谈就过什么人谈，父母是当不了家的，晓得吧？
不管是从身体角度上，还是从心理角度也好，都应该是男人和女人。
同性恋我不太能接受。
I can accept the phenomenon of homosexuality. My personal preference would be, like, if I had a son, that he wouldn't be gay. But if he was, then I could accept it. I'm not entirely sure about the Chinese government's stance on gay marriage, but I do believe that it's illegal in China. So it's a big difference between the UK government, because gay marriage is allowed in the UK. As for people's attitudes, I think that the UK is a much more open society, so there isn't really any people who make fun of gay couples, and if you look in the media and things like this, then there's nothing against gay marriage.
Personally, the homosexuality is tolerable. I think that should be protected by some laws in China. So the authority should issue some kind of laws or regulations to protect the interests of these people.
Given this, we made a survey on the internet, and all in all 450 people attended. Among those people, 58.74% are women, that is 17.48% more than men. Meanwhile, the participants aged between 16 and 26 years old takes up almost 75%, and the last quarter participants aged between 27 and 59 years old. There are 286 people support same-sex marriage, approximate 63.57% of the total, and the rest 164 people cannot accept this phenomenon. When asking about the amount of homosexual around the participants, there are 57.25% people tell us that very few homo exist, 13.38% show that lots of homos around them, and the last 29.37% say they did not pay much attention on it.
I found myself gay when I was a junior student. At first, I was a little scared of realizing it, and really didn't know what to do to cope with that. Because of the young age and the lack of knowledge about homosexuality, the differences with others have just occurred to me, and that is what frightened me. I think dating with one you like is human's basic right. Gays should have the right to marry, and they also should be allowed to protect those rights.
I thought, just like ordinary people, I'd feel in love and had no fearful or worried feeling. It's impossible that life is completely tantamount to normal love. For example, when we meet with emotional problems, what we can do often is to find our best friends or ourselves to seek help rather than our parents or relatives. A homo would be unhappy if loving an opposite sex. So our country ought to focus more on gay or lesbian. At least don't let us feel being discriminated.
Ang Lee and his third nomination. As director for Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, he accepted the Foreign Language Film Oscar for Taiwan.
Well, I wish I know how to quit you. First of all, I want to thank two people who don't even exist. Or I should say, they do exist because the imagination of Annie Proulx and the artistry of Larry McMurtry and Diana Osana. Their names are Ennis and Jack. And they taught all of us who made Brokeback Mountain so much about not just all the gay men and women whose love is denied by society, but just as important, the greatness of love itself.
As Ann Lee's words on the 78th Annual Academy Awards, Brokeback Mountain not only tells audience the romance of gay or lesbian, but the more generalized love. When love finds you or you come across love, despite same-sex love or opposite sex, and regardless of gender or others' perspective, to love briefly because life is yours.